And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend Cheap Ludes. Oh man, happy Monday. We got a big old patch in NBA 2K23, my team today, which is a doozy. I'm going to talk about it. Shout out to Mondays for being like an F tier day of the week, dude. I know I'm on my Garfield arc at this current moment. I do agree with Garfield the cat on his stance on Mondays, but his stance on lasagna I can't agree with. That's like an F tier, quote unquote, Italian cuisine. I'm just not a huge fan of lasagna, okay? It's just not, it's deep dish pizza without the crust, basically. I'm not a fan of it. Like, I don't understand why he fawns over lasagna. It's just a weird concept to me. I know I'm talking about why a cartoon slash comic book cat fawns over a particular Italian dish, but like, there's so much better food out there. I don't know why this little fat orange cat is out here thirsting on lasagna of all things. Like, anyways, besides the point. We got a big old patch today, 50 gigabyte patch, at least on current gen. I haven't done the next gen patch yet, but I'm assuming it's just as big. And some things have changed. Quite a bit, actually. There's actually been a lot of stuff that they've kind of moved around and did. So we'll start with some of the more surface level stuff here. They dropped a little, I don't know, dude, pack set in here. All VC. You can get Bulbul for 3,000 VC. I guess that's pretty cool. Yao Ming for 15k. Yeah, J.R. Smith for 15k. I mean, this just indicates to me that Amethyst, like the time of the Amethyst, is over for sure. They're gonna skip right over that. There's also unauctionable Pink Diamond for 50k. So you can get any previously released Pink Diamond, but you can't sell it for 50,000 MT or VC. I'm sorry. And then for 100,000 VC, you get any Pink Diamond that's been released, but you can auction it. Now, this is going to crash the price of at least a few of these. I mean, obviously, certain cards are going to drop at a higher clip than certain other cards. Like, you probably have a higher chance of getting like a James Harden or a Shades of guy, you know, or Dame or Dominique, someone of that nature, than you would of getting like DeMar or who's another one that would be like Magic, Kobe for sure. Like, you definitely have a higher chance getting those guys. I mean, obviously it's 100% Pink Diamond, so it's interesting to go back, and I will come back and touch on the market aspect of that in a little bit. But we got all of the moments cards are back, including a Pink Diamond of Vodka Zubac, which, like, is he good? No, absolutely not. He's like pretty not good, as a matter of fact. But you know what? I love random cards. So even though Zubac kind of sucks, and he does kind of suck, like, let's not get it twisted here. He's not very good. It's like, dude, were we ever going to get another Avaka Zubac card? No. This is why I love moments cards, because we were never ever going to see majority of these guys. So it's cool to see random dudes like the homie Zubac pulling up out here, getting a moments card for something he did yesterday too. So it's like they came out and banged this card out. Like, there's no way they had this planned. You know what I mean? It's a Zubac card, all right? It's not like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had another good game. You know what I mean? They didn't have this planned, so that's cool. But in addition to that, they put all the moments cards back up for an additional 3 days. It should have been for forever, but whatever, it's fine. Here's the issue though. In the case of Keldon Johnson, I had done every single one of these aside from the block. I could not get the block for some reason. He just refused to do it. I have to redo them all, which is kind of annoying, but at least I'll be able to get Keldon Johnson that I missed, so that's good. I got everyone else. It doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, and Royce O'Neal, who I am torn on currently if I even want to do that grind, realistically. I don't know. Then we got the trophy case grind, another one for a centerpiece exchange. Boy, oh boy, is this one a doozy. It's win streaks. Hooray. We've all been clamoring for the win streaks to come back. After the Thanksgiving event where it was just like play games and you got rewarded. Yeah, come back win streaks. You have to win 15 triple threat offline games in a row, which obviously most people are going to do, but if you're on all-star difficulty and you're not that adept at the game, like, yeah, it's going to be tough, like, straight up. You might catch a random L here and there. 15 is kind of a lot, dude. For your average 2K sweat, this is nothing, you know what I mean? But for like a regular person that might be trying to get this done, it's not the most impossible one in here, but it does kind of suck. You're not even going to get the elite franchise moment at that rate, you know? Win 10 clutch time offline games. The clutch time offline CPU is hell, and they will come through and sneak a game off you for no reason. So winning 10 in a row is kind of not tight if you're on the higher difficulties. 3 unlimited games, 3 draft games, which means you have to play draft. That's not fun. 3 triple threat online co-op, 3 triple threat online games, 3 clutch time, make 100 3-pointers over multiple single player games, but you are getting like a trophy case option pack. Yeah, then we got multiplayer threes. That's fun, cool. 150 points in the paint over single player, points in the paint over multiplayer, which that for majority of the player base should not be a hard concept. Like scoring points in the paint, yeah, it's kind of what people do for the most part. I don't know, man. I wish these were just play game challenges as opposed to streaks. I feel like that'd be better for the player base. It's like, I don't understand why we're introducing win streaks into the game at a time period where we're getting a lot of new players. The reason I say that is just like, anyone who got the game for Black Friday, they had a couple days of peace, and now if they even try to go do any of these online, they're going to get bopped by super sweat lords who are trying to get this done. Because this is the gatekeeping challenge for anybody to get their first Dark Matter. So Tim Duncan and Dr. J. Like, people are going to have Tim Duncan and Dr. J today off of these challenges. So realistically, it's going to be hell, like, for anybody going to play online. So I'm just going to not do them. Like, I'm not down, dude. I just, like, I don't want to do that. That sounds awful. I don't want to do it. I still have to do this Paul George stuff anyway, so I'll do a few of them. Like, I'll do the triple threat offline and maybe the clutch time offline, since I got to finish that anyway. A couple other random changes is now you can scroll through the tiers on clutch time, so you can see what's coming up and make the decision if you actually want to grind it or not. So, like, I have what, 5 days, 4.5 days to try to finish clutch time offline, and just kind of looking at the prizes that are left, like, I don't really care that much, and I probably am not going to get the centerpiece, so I'm just like not going to do it. You know what I mean? So that's good. It obviously works for clutch time online as well, so you can go back and see like the centerpiece, Hall of Fame badge pack, 200 tokens, 25k, you know, so you can make the decision if you want to level up or not, which is good. That's something that's been needed for, I would say, kind of a long period of time at this point. I feel like it's just kind of a good addition. It should have been in the game a long time ago, but I mean, it is what it is. The good thing is it's in the game now, so it's fine. Other than that, I don't believe there's any additions to the token market or anything of that nature. So those were the big on the surface changes, right? Like, those are the things that we are able to see. Now, the things that are kind of bubbling below the surface here, a lot of the game modes, triple threat being one of them, clutch time being another one, are kind of broken. Like, I'm not able to play clutch time like right now. Like, look, I straight can't start this game even if I wanted to. Like, straight up, it's broken. Like, I cannot play this game mode. It straight up does not work. It does not allow me to play at this current moment if you have finished clutch time. If you have not finished clutch time, you're able to play from my understanding, but if you have finished it, like, you can't play. And that, I believe that goes for both of them. That being said, on triple threat, the vault just doesn't open. So if you win, you're not going to get vault. Like, that's going to be irritating for a lot of people as well. Like, you're just straight up not going to get vaults if you win. So if you're trying to get something specifically done, or if you're trying to get Horford or OG, like, you're not going to get any vaults. I'm sure they will appear later on. Like, if you win 10 games, I'm sure you'll have 10 vault redeems over here in like a day or so. But just know that that is the case. Like, that is going to be an issue that will be here for a bit, and it's going to be frustrating, certainly. OG, this is the last day you can get OG, by the way. I believe they're going to give us another takeover card tomorrow, but if you haven't gotten OG already and you want them, now is your time to shine. This is the last day of which you can do that. You have another 1 day to do the moments of the week 5 for a centerpiece as well. All right, let's talk about some other below the surface ones. This one is contentious, to say the least. They have patched out player lock in unlimited. So when you go to set your lineup, like, you could technically, it allow you to do position lock, but then when you start the game, the position lock won't be there. I will be honest, I personally think this is trash. Like, I hate this personally. Here's the reason I hate it, because I know people are going to come at me with a variety of different things that they're going to say and defend their position as to why they hate AFKs, right? Here's the thing. One, most content creators and most people on Twitter are fear-stoking, kind of fear-mongering guys. Like, they'll come out here and just straight lie, like, on the timeline, right? Like, I don't even care. Like, you can get mad at me for saying that, but you didn't play 5 straight AFK guys in a row. Like, if you did, it's because your matchmaking determined that you matched up with one guy who was doing AFK for the day. So maybe it happened, but I find it to be very unlikely, considering all year long, I have played 2 AFK guys the entirety of the year. Like, I've played a couple legitimate I've played more legitimate player lock guys than I've played AFK. Like, I've played probably 3 or 4 dudes who legitimately were playing player lock unlimited. Like, it's not even like they were AFK. They were playing the whole time. You know what I mean? And trying to win. But the AFK guys I've played 2 the entirety of the year out of hundreds of games. So it's like, I personally think people just kind of were wiling out and just needed something to jump on and just started wiling on AFKs for some reason. 2, people will bring up the MT bots and be like, well, the MT bots are farming off AFK, and that's why it's bad, because they're farming. Not accurate. Now, the reason I say not accurate is 2 reasons. There was no AFK last year, and for the first few months until they changed the Triple Threat 100, AFK, or not AFKs, but MT companies were using botted controllers on botted accounts to farm Triple Threat. We didn't have AFK last year. Anybody who played Triple Threat online last year can attest you would run into bots constantly if you used the right lineups, right? You could cruise through it pretty easily if you were to use the real lineups. We saw that back in 20. We saw that back in 21 as well. Number 2, MT sites are not going to stop the grind this year in Unlimited just because AFK players are gone. It's actually going to make the games worse. You're probably going to run into relatively, not the same level of AFK guys, because the normal people who just do AFK to try to get challenges done and stuff, those people are gone. So, I mean, you're taking out like a decent portion of the population, but the bots and the bot sites are still going to be there because they're rocking these setups where they could easily just go out there and they'll move just enough to not get kicked out. Like, that's how these work. I mean, that's how they've been doing it for years, right? So this removal of player lock does not hurt the people that it's supposed to hurt. The only people that it hurts are people who just try to get challenges done through AFK means, because they don't have time to play the game, which, I mean, you can say is bad, you can say is good, you can say it's ruining other people's experiences, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and fight morality on this. I'm just here with the facts of the matter, right? Those are the only people that it hurt, right? Anybody else that probably deserves to be hurt by this is not going to be hurt by this, straight up. And here's the other key too, is because of the removal of AFK, when you do, or player lock, I should say, I keep interlocking the 2 terms, it's like the same thing. Because of the removal of player lock, now what's going to happen is if you run into someone who really lives that AFK lifestyle and they're still going to do it, now instead of running into people who are doing a traditional player lock, right, where they'll sit behind the half-court line, move around a little bit, whatever, and let their offense run 4v5, now what's going to happen is you're going to be playing against the same situation, except their offense isn't going to be controlled by the CPU, so they're all just going to stand around and then move around occasionally. And it's going to be like a million times more boring than it would be under normal circumstances. We used to run into this stuff all the time last year. Like, it used to happen all the time in Unlimited. You run into a dude and he would just chuck full court shots the entirety of the game. You think that's going away? No, it's only getting worse because AFK is gone. So, this is kind of what I've been warning about all year. Like, the people who have a crusade against, like, people who do AFK or even people who just do player lock, like, you're opening yourself up for more pain. Like, this may suck, quote unquote, but you could just quit. Like, you could just quit, or you could just finish the game. No one cares about your Unlimited record. Doesn't matter. Just quit. If you're not having fun, just quit. Like, the reality of the situation, most people who don't like the player lock or AFK situation are just trying to encourage people to quit as fast as humanly possible by bopping them very fast, and this is a railroad in the way against that. So, that's what I gotta say. That's my piece. I think it's a bad idea that they removed it personally, but I don't really care one way or the other. Like, I'm just happy to never hear about it ever again, because people literally would not shut up about how much they hate AFK on Twitter for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Even though they've only ran into 2 of them, they just hate the mere idea of it. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yes, it does. As always, has been your friend Cheap Ludes. Other things that this patch did was they fixed a camera. The camera kind of moves a little bit different now. I honestly don't really know what to say about it. It looks okay. Gameplay fixes. I mean, if you look on Twitter, people will say, "Oh yeah, threes go in more. Green window is bigger. There's more blocks." I don't think any of that is true necessarily. I think people just kind of wildly speculate when there's a patch this big on what it could have done. So they play a game and they think anything is even remotely different. They'll say the patch did it, which is like not accurate. So, anyways, have a good day, you guys. Please enjoy the fiery firestorm I created by talking about AFK in the comments. Peace.